Laura West, and my company's called the Center for Joyful Business over at joyfulbusiness.com. I have been a business success coach internationally for 21 years, going on my 22nd year now. And I love working with conscious entrepreneurs who are, putting their work out into the world and using their work as a way to both express their gifts that they've been given or they have developed, and also create an impactful transformation in the world, a positive impact in the world, and make really great money doing it. Yay! Jazz hands for that, right?
Jazz hands! Hello, everybody. Welcome to Grow Your Business Smarter, Live Your Optimal Life. Thank you so much for joining us today. And today we have a very special guest in our studio. I want to say hello to and welcome Laura West. Laura, welcome. Thanks so much for joining us.
I'm so glad I'm here. Yay!
Yay! Will you share with everyone who you are and what you do?
Who I am and what I do. Sure. I am Laura West. I am the founder of the Center for Joyful Business. I've been a business success coach and creative mindset coach for 22 years now. And before that, I was VP of marketing in the corporate shopping center world. I'm the author of the Joyful Business Plan and the upcoming Joyful Business Planner. And gosh, what else can I tell you? I've been called a dream weaver and a coach whisperer and a kick-ass babe. And so those are some of the things that I do. I don't know, that's what I do. That's kind of more who I be. But what I do is I help conscious entrepreneurs, lots of coaches, really get in there, find their unique, beautiful brilliance, and really own their soul work, what it is they're meant to do in the world, and then help them release those possibilities. That's a little
So, Laura, you're a friend to the show. You've been on our Ladies Power Lunch shows, our Ladies Power Lunch stages. You've been a best-selling co-author in one of our Ladies Power Lunch anthologies, Answer the Call. You are no stranger to a lot of our members, but I feel like there's an opportunity here for you to share a little bit more deeply today about how you came to be doing this work. Because what I know of you is that you're coming from a corporate setting where you were quite successful, and now you're working, focusing your life, really, really devoting your life to supporting the entrepreneur, to helping the entrepreneur have her voice heard so that she can be abundant in her business. But why would you leave the golden city of corporate to come work with us?
Well, I've always had a passion for entrepreneurs. When I was in corporate, my last position for over a decade, I was VP of marketing over about 50 shopping centers. And this was in the mid 90s. And in about a period of 5 years, I went through 6 corporate buyouts and mergers, which is a lot. That was every year, sometimes more than 1 year. And those um, corporate mergers, I mean, that is a stressful, intense period. And what happened is I really got burned out. I really lost my marketing mojo. Everybody around me had all sorts of things going on. It was a really super stressful time. And and I just knew something had to change. And I knew that there had to be a way. So two things was I got really burned out. I was like, what else am I going to do? And then the other thing was I was really curious about joy and like how did being happy at work, because we were so under the pressure and there was no joy or happiness or fun happening. And so I hired a career coach and I started working with her and started shifting my mindset about things, redesigning my corporate job. And then from there, I realized I wanted to do what she was doing. I wanted to be a coach. And so this is one of the most amazing things. I love this story. Here I am getting ready to leave my corporate position, tell them, just told them that I'm ready to, go out. I'm going to start my own business as a coach. I get this intuitive hit to call this woman who did training in our company. And she was across the country. And I just knew that she would love coaching and just think that was really cool. So I called her. I mean, I could have just sent her an email, right? But I called her and said, I want to tell you what's going on with me. And she said, I love hearing this. I love coaching. As a matter of fact, we want to bring coaching to the 50 general managers and teach them coaching. So, how about, and I have this budget I haven't spent on training. And she said, how about I'll give you $10,000. We'll pay for your coach training. We'll pay for your certification process. We'll pay for whatever you can fit in that $10,000 budget, right? We'll pay for it all to get you started so you can come and teach us coaching. So to me, that was like lighting up. When you're really aligned with the work you're meant to do, things light up and the universe comes in and says, ooh, here's a fascinating way that we can deliver this to you. So that started the journey.
Wow, that is amazing. It's such an amazing story, and I love seeing you help other people to be successful in their business, to make more money in their business, to own that it's okay to be abundant in their businesses. And one of the reasons is because, as far as for those of you who know about human design, Laura and I are very similar in our design. So when I see her out there doing it and really being such an amazing supporting coach, it really warms my heart because it's almost like Laura is a beacon for me. So I absolutely enjoy this. One of the tenets of this show, of course, we're always talking about growing our business smarter, but we're also always going to be talking about living our optimal life. Because one of the things that I noticed about life, and I think I've mentioned this before on other shows, is that when I've been seeing a lot of patients, they'd come in, they'd have a lot of discomfort, pain, you name it. And a lot of our patients are female entrepreneurs. And one of the things that I would notice is that if we were able to talk about things in a way that we were able to support their business, their whole life would change. And so it's not just about growing your business smarter, but it's also about living your optimal life. And that's what this show is about. So let's talk a little bit about the optimal life piece, Laura.
Yeah, that's so
What?
why you and I know,
Yes.
are connected. So many reasons why we're connected together. But I believe that people are designed to flourish and that we just have to figure out what's getting in the way. Just what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So part of this whole flourishing has to involve including your own self-care, including things that are fun for you, having more fun, laughing more. What have you been up to, Laura? And what sort of recommendations do you have for us when it comes to that other piece of our life, that part where we're focused on our self-care and we're having more fun?
Yeah. I'm a huge believer. I'm right on the same page with you. I introduced to my clients a model that talks about activating your creative power centers. And there's 10 different centers. But at the bottom, at the foundation, is your personal energy. And so everything to me comes back to your personal energy. And this means physical energy, environmental, looking at your emotional and mental energies, your financial energies, even your joy energy. And so I'm always looking at those. Those are places for me to check in. And so this is what I bring to my clients, but I do this for myself. And so some of the things that I do is, I'm really, with the basics, the physical energy. I am, in order to really flourish as an entrepreneur, because there's a lot of things coming at us all the time, and a lot of things to juggle. Physical energy is just number one. It's sleep, water, good food most of the time, that kind of thing. I think are critical, and but then also things like um, just really letting yourself be in your joy, really having ways that you can be in your emotions and let out your emotions. So having good friends that you can talk to when things aren't going as well as you'd like, or having a coach that you can lean into so that you can get that stuff out and start realizing there's other ways and other alternatives and help get back in alignment with that expansive energy. But personally, I do things like this weekend. I just took the whole weekend off. Like, I'm just going to play all weekend. I had a really busy week last week. And I went strawberry picking, which was just really amazing. And it was really fun. I haven't done that in years. Went to the beach for a while. And I just recently moved, I guess it's been about 9 months now, back to my hometown in Virginia Beach. And I live in this apartment building by the marina, and I can just go out and walk by the water anytime I want. And I just absolutely love that. And to me, that is the most amazing self care thing I can do any day. I've already had my little early morning walk this morning, and it just grounds me and inspires me at the same time.
I know we all wish that we were living by the marina with Laura. And
Come
by
on.
the way, just so you know, I am coming down in July to come visit with you. So
Yay.
looking forward to that with
And take a
great
little walk by the
anticipation.
marina.
Yay, it's going to be tons of fun. We talk a lot on this show about collaboration and how when we're growing our businesses, it can be really, really a great opportunity to reach into the power that is our sisterhood for support as we grow our businesses and become more abundant. Tell me a little bit about how collaboration has been supportive for you, Laura West, in growing your business.
Yeah. Collaboration shows up in a lot of different ways. And so I would say I don't know, there's so many different ways, but one of the number one ways to me is by hiring a coach. And, and I say that because since that moment when I hired my first career coach, when I was still in corporate, I mean, I've had a coach for 25 years, different coaches for different things. And to me, that's a way of collaborating like that. I don't have to do it all alone, that I can learn from other people who are, it might be spiritual coaches, it might be a book coach, it might be a money coach, it might be more of a business coach or a non-traditional creativity coach. Different people that I work with all the time, and to me, that's a way of collaborating. So that's one way. I've also participated in, I think, 5 different collaborative anthologies, like I have with you, Divya. Um, and then to me, one of the simplify and amplify strategies is to be able to play with other people with their podcasts, their shows, their summits. So I participate in a lot of those. And either I'm a guest or I bring them over and they're a guest on my TV show, things like that. So to me, I'm always looking at how do we collaborate, but collaborate in all different kinds of ways.
Beautiful. I love that. So everybody loves all this fun stuff about self-care and collaboration. Yeah, that's all fine. But I know the real reason why everybody tuned in today. We want to know how, Laura, to turn on that money flow. And that's primarily the work that you do with your clients. So my hope today is that you're going to just dive in and share with us, how can we turn on the money flow?
Where's the magic faucet, right? Where's the magic turn dial, right? Um, so to me, it comes back, like it really starts with what we were talking about earlier with your personal energy. And I mean, it is directly, to me, the flow of your personal energy is directly related to your abundance energy, your creativity, and your money energy. And if you are leaking energy, or constrict have lots of constricted energy in one area, it's going to show up in your business. It's going to show up with constricted energy and getting creative projects done, which is what I call passion projects. So your passion projects will be constricted or be hard, and your money flow will be constricted and hard, or it'll be a roller coaster. If you're like self-care today, but next month, you don't do anything till next month. It's all related. So if your energy is leaking energy, or you are constricted, bound up, things like that, blocked, then that's going to show up in your business. So that's one of the things that I look for. And then what I also do is, there's the internal stuff and then the external. And so the internal to me is about cultivating an abundance mindset, because lots of times, I mean, I'm a pretty positive person, but people are like, oh, of course your business is called Joyful Business because you're so joyful all the time. That's not really how it works. It's like I'm Joyful Business to remind myself that joy is the path, joy is the way. That when I do things that put me in my joy, whether it's putting on music and dancing, whether it's talking to someone that's really having an inspiring conversation, moving my body in some way, getting in my joy. Studies have shown, and this is why I called my company Joyful Business, studies have shown that when you are feeling joy at work, feeling happiness at work, feeling good at work, studies have shown that you're more creative, right? And we know this at an intuitive level, right? That when you feel good, you can't help but do good. You can't help but come up with more creative ideas. When you're in the flow and you kind of have that bounce in your step, I know the ideas just flow in. The articles are easy to write. The emails are easy to write. The creative ideas, the flow for the book comes, things like that. So you have more creativity, you have more innovation. And innovation is about following ideas that are kind of contrary, really being more of a rebel and doing ideas, taking risks. And so when you're in your joy, you're more likely to be a little more riskier as far as maybe in your coaching or what it is that you're creating with clients. Um, and it also, studies have shown that you're more confident. So to me, that is priceless. Like when you're in your joy, you're feeling good, you're more likely to respond to that potential invitation to participate in a summit, right? You're more likely to say yes to speaking. So to me, that joy energy is really priceless. And that leads to your expansion, your abundance, which ultimately leads to more money. Um, we were
So,
talking,
Laura,
yeah.
that all sounds really, really interesting. I
Mhm.
mean, okay, we need to be more joyful, we need to embrace the joy, but can you give us like some examples, maybe a story of a client for whom they weren't in their joy, then they were in their joy, then they saw the abundance? Because I don't know, maybe I'm a little skeptical.
It's easy to be skeptical, right? He's like, yeah, that joy thing. So, first of all, I just want to be really clear. We're not talking about what people are calling toxic positivity, because that's really in the media a lot right now. It's not about, let me slap a happy face on something. And when somebody says, how you doing? And you're scared to death about your business and paying your bills at the end of the month, and you say, oh, it's fine, with the clenched, that is so not it, right? But what it is, like if you were in that situation, what that is you go out for a walk, right? Go for a walk by the water, go for a walk by the beach, just go for a walk around the block and see if the hummingbirds are out yet, right? And just get yourself into that peaceful, more joyful place. Then you are more resourceful. And when you're more resourceful, you're going to come up with the creative projects, which I call passion projects. So I have worked with a lot of different clients on their passion projects. So um, one client is, her name is Melinda, right? And she has just, there's times where she's come to me and her energy is stuck, and she's playing really small. And that's part of why we've realized her energy is stuck, because she's playing so small. She used to be a former actress, right? I mean, it's like she's used to big energy, and here she is doing this marketing stuff in this smaller way, working with little entrepreneurs who are beginners. That is just way too small of a container for her. And so we started opening things up for her, realizing her beautiful brilliance, which is around improv and laughter and humor and being a rebel and helping her clients look at things differently. And so now she's shifting her business model to be an MC for corporate events, to really help people with their creative content, to help people look at their business in a whole different way. So her model is like we've busted it out of that more traditional kind of model. And it's been
I,
with a lot of focus around holding a vision and changing not even just the vision, there's the vision for the business, but her image of herself. And that's a lot of the work that I do with clients is realizing what's the image that you're holding of yourself, which she had, which was, oh, I've got to kind of do it the way everybody else is doing it, which really inside she was like vibrating, just begging to be bust out. And then so we shifted it to this image she, now has of herself as, yes, I'm this MC. Yes, I am hanging out with other people who do work like I do. And it's really expanded her image, and all sorts of things are happening for her now.
Beautiful. So that's a great story that really embodies the idea of changing the way that you are on the inside so that the things on the outside can change. And sometimes when we can see stories, when we can see how it's worked for other people, maybe it might make it a little bit more accessible for the rest of us to also fall in line with that. So you were mentioning that there are internal aspects to take care of. What are some of the other aspects that you think are important when we're talking about turning on that money flow?
Yeah. Well, I mentioned earlier, one of the things that I work with are what I call your 10 creative power centers. And I'm not going to go over all 10 of them, but for example, I look at different areas in your business and see where's the energy expanding, where is it constricted, where is it leaking. So we'll look at things like your personal brand and your message. Are you really congruent? Are you really aligned? I'm always looking at alignment. And the way I look at alignment is it flowing or is there friction there? And so you can look at any of these 10 creative power centers, and when you start activating one, so it might be your authentic marketing style, and are you out there with an authentic marketing plan and strategy? It might be your money flow and abundance, or your support system. And so maybe it's your leadership and visibility. And so we'll look at these different areas and see, what's got friction, where's the friction and where's the flow. And then we'll start identifying that so that you can actually do the tangible things, whether it's creating a new package, creating your programs, pricing, hiring team, getting your marketing out there. So then all the practical things come into play. But what I have found over the years is that um, I could I could be working with a client. I could say, here are two things to go do. And here's marketing strategies, two marketing strategies to go do. It's kind of like a prescription. Here, do these things, call me next week after you've done it for 10 days in a row, right? And they don't do it. And so if they don't do it, it's because the inner stuff is getting in the way, right? Once we get the inner stuff in alignment, then, oh my gosh, the marketing prescriptions are like, give me more, it's like really, it's so much easier, right?
So maybe share a little bit about a client that you might have had who you were giving them the prescriptions and they weren't doing the things. And then when they started paying attention to the inner things, things kind of changed.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think of my client, George, who, we worked together for a long time, and there was always kind of this block, this sort of block um, around him realizing his potential, right? Releasing his possibilities. And then we really started working with his beautiful brilliance, right? Owning all that makes him amazing. And he is a shaman, an addiction coach. He is a retreat leader. He's an artist. And over time, it's like he started feeding his creativity. And one of the ways he started doing this was he would go to the shore and he would build these cairns. And cairns are those stack of rocks, like we see those Zen rocks, right? Something little like that. But he started going there and taking pictures of, creating them, taking pictures of them. And then every day on Facebook, he started posting a picture with some different words, inspiring words that then turned into meditations. Well, this simple little thing, seemingly, ended up turning into almost 5 years of posting a cairn every day with a meditation or something to be thinking about. He became known for that. And then that evolved into his book called Stone Warrior, that was all about the stones, about meditation, and then it became his about his journey through addiction, and then eventually through cancer, most recently. Um, that just started opening up. Like he started reclaiming his ceremony work, his shaman work. Now he's hired all over to come into people's retreats to do ceremony work and different creative processes. He is regularly doing art for art galleries. He just created a series of 52 different uh, art projects for an Oracle deck card. So he collaborated and created all the art in this beautiful, beautiful Oracle card deck. And I mean, so much more has opened up for him. So it's that. It's like when you're bound up and constricted and trying to fit into the box, and we start releasing the possibilities, but creating that flourishing environment, that's designed for you to flourish, then these things just start happening. They start coming to you. The universe starts working through people to bring you opportunities. And he started saying yes because they were so aligned.
I absolutely adore that story. And you'll see why, Laura, in just a moment. I want to, time goes by so fast when
I
you're
know.
having fun. And we're almost right up on time, but I'd love for you to just give us some final words, some final thoughts as we go into our days and we're going to turn on that abundance flow. What's the one thing you want us to remember?
Well, I think the one thing, there's so many things I think of, but one of the things is like dare to be a rebel, find your inner rebel and find that way that that can show up for today. Like, how can you give yourself permission to be in your joy and say, you know what, I'm going to go out and take a walk, even though it's in the middle of the day and I'm supposed to be working on this project, because that energy is going to come back and really influence your creativity, open up your creativity. So I really encourage you. Maybe you're going to be a rebel with your words. Maybe something you're going to do in a video, and just let yourself, because to me, the rebel is like your voice inside that you're stepping down. And so it really wants to come out. So I really encourage you, like, how can you be a rebel today?
How can you be a rebel today, guys? Think about that, embrace that. I think that's the best sort of advice that you could give. And I want to say that I also pulled a card for us today, and it's just amazing the synchronicities that always happen. So today I pulled from the Sacred Rebels guidebook, and
Of course.
the card, it just seems to have flown so well with what you said today. It says, what is already with you? You hold in your hand that which you seek. In other words, the pair of spectacles you've been rummaging around the house for are sitting on top of your head. What you're seeking, perhaps by exploring far and wide, is actually right under your nose. You may not like this idea. It's so much more wonderful to imagine that there's something yet to find. Of course, there's unlimited creative potential and always something more that can be. And then it says the oracle comes with special guidance for you. You are more ready than you think. You are more prepared than you realize. You don't need an entire army of resources to move ahead. Although you may find that when you do move, many resources suddenly become apparent. All you need in this moment is just one sweet act of nourishment. That is enough to take you out of backwards nostalgia or regret and forwards into what is awaiting you now. Be brave, dig deep within, and enjoy the sweet surrender. Could we have pulled a more perfect card for this particular conversation? What do you think, Laura?
I love it. To me, it's already right there inside you. We just have to release it.
We just have to release it. Laura, people are going to want to know how they can connect with you because this has been such a rich, deep, meaningful conversation. How can people connect with you? Do you have a free gift that you might want to offer them?
Yes, yes. We have, if you go to my website at joyfulbusiness.com, we have a free gift right at this moment, only for a few days. There's an ebook that is about joy rituals. And there's all sorts of good ideas in there. And then June 1st, we are shifting to this brand new, amazing, cool website that I can't wait to share. We'll have a new free gift about abundance. And I also have a creative business retreat by the sea in October down here by the water. And we have a few spots left. We've got the early bird coming up. So if you're interested in being immersed in this abundance creative environment, please reach out and contact me. I'd love to talk to you about it.
And I absolutely, absolutely recommend that you reach out to Laura because she is outstanding. I really do appreciate, Laura, you coming on the show today. It's been such a pleasure having you. For all of you who are here joining with us here in the Zoom room, I'm going to ask you to just stick around. We're going to go right into the question and answer portion of this particular show. And I want to say thank you, everybody who's watching on the replay. Thanks so much for watching. We'll
You.
see you guys on the next show. Bye, everybody.